Welcome to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 list for fragrances for the office, so stay tuned. Guys, if you like the content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps me grow my channel so I can keep bringing you guys fragrance reviews, cologne comparisons, and top lists. Now, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about what I really think about when I think about an office fragrance. Now, there are obviously a lot of different office contexts. There's high professional, high powered lawyer, and all these kinds of things. And then there's semi-professional, maybe a little bit more casual. You do desk work, office work, that kind of stuff. For me, I work more in that semi-formal kind of environment, and I do generally feel free to wear more or less whatever fragrance I want, but there are always better suited options for those situations, and I've composed a list of 5 fragrances I think are very good for those. The general idea with the fragrances I've gone with are that they are mass appealing, they aren't super beast mode performance. The reason I haven't gone for things that project like crazy is because often I'm in a small office or a smaller office and nobody really wants to be overwhelmed by a perfume smell in that situation. So something that's a little bit more subtle, a little bit more subdued, and people may pick up on once in a while if you're in the area or maybe as you walk by, but nothing that's overstated or too pronounced. And everything I've chosen I feel has a certain amount of class and elegance to it. It definitely is something that is more appropriate for these at least semi-formal situations. Honorable mention, of course, I'm going to mention Prada L'Homme. Everybody talks about Prada L'Homme as the perfect office scent. You know what? It's really great. It has that very clean, very irisy smell to it, and it's very classy and it's great. So I'm giving it an honorable mention mostly because I think everybody's expecting to hear that one. So I wanted to make a list that didn't include that one for that specific reason. So, on to the top 5. In the 5th place, I have one from Maison Martin Margiela. This is called At the Barbers. This is one I actually really enjoy. It's a very nice barbershop fragrance. It's not overpowering with its projection. It's very clean, has a little bit of masculine spice to it, and it has that really nice, classy, clean, old school vibe to it. This is definitely one of my favorite from the house, and it's definitely one that's not going to really turn a lot of people off. And if you do like those kind of barbershop fragrances, then this is definitely something you should probably check out. It's a nice way to present yourself in a clean yet masculine manner. So that is my number 5 spot. So for number 4, I actually have a tie. This is between Dior Sauvage EDP and Dylan Blue by Versace. Now, I think the EDP is perhaps a little bit better suited for the office, and the reason is that it's a little bit more tame, it's a little bit more rounded and mature, and it does have a very, very mass appealing, sweet, clean shower gel kind of a vibe. And this is one I have worn to work, and people have definitely enjoyed it when I've done so. So I think this is a good one to choose, but of course if you do, I find this one performs and projects extremely, extremely well, which is a good thing, but in the case that I'm going to wear this to the office, I would tone it down a little bit. I wouldn't spray too much. Maybe if you're spraying from the bottle, 2 to 3 sprays, depending on how it performs on your skin. And that's just definitely something to keep in mind. It's very, very easy to overspray this one because it is such a great performer. Now, Dylan Blue falls into the same vein. It is, in a sense, that sort of clean shower gel kind of a fragrance, but it also has different nuances, especially once this starts to dry down. It has a lot of patchouli in it, and it does have a sort of masculine earthiness to it that I quite enjoy. And so I think this is a really nice one. It still has that clean vibe to it. It's also not quite as much of a beast performer, so you can spray this one a little bit more liberally, and I think it will achieve the same effect of being very clean, very mass appealing fragrance to wear to the office. Number 3 is none other than Acqua di Gio Profumo. I think this is probably the suitable one for the office because it still has that Acqua di Gio DNA. Unlike, say, the original, for example, which is very citrusy, I find in the opening, this has a very nice aquatic sea breeze kind of a vibe. And it's also one that has a little bit more maturity with the incense and the patchouli, which makes it a little bit more professional, smelling in my opinion. This one does also perform really well without projecting too much, so you're going to find that this one will last all day, and it does create a bit of a nice scent cloud. People around you will definitely be able to smell it if they're in close or if you walk by, but it's not something that's going to be a total assault on anyone around you. So I feel this is also a great choice. It has that masculine vibe with the patchouli and the incense, and it has a really nice sort of salty sea breeze vibe that a lot of people really like. So this is a nice choice as well. Number 2 on the list is a really great fragrance from Montblanc, and it's Individual. This is one that has been talked about a lot, and it just has this really fresh linen vibe with a nice raspberry sweetness to it. So it's very clean smelling, and it has a little bit of sweet raspberry to add a nice little touch to it, a nice sense of something a little bit more than just linen clean. And I think it's really safe because it is just a very clean, fresh laundry kind of scent. Another great thing about this fragrance, you can get this for a very good price, and personally I don't want to spend tons of money on an office fragrance. I want to spend, nothing too crazy. I got this for under $30, 75 ml. Really, you cannot go wrong with that. This is a great purchase in my opinion. And finally, the top choice for me for the office is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. The reason I go with the Parfum on this one is, again, this doesn't project like a monster. The EDT can be really crazy projection. EDP also has pretty strong projection too, and it's a little bit rough. I find both those two can be a little bit rough, which works in some situations. But this one is more mature, it's more well-rounded, it has this slightly better, darker, more mature, more masculine smell. It still has that nice citrusy top that Bleu de Chanel is known for, and it definitely has that nice clean sort of shower gel vibe as well. But the incense and the woodiness together creates this sort of masculine, darker fragrance that really is suitable for the office, in the sense that this definitely has a more mature, more professional smell to it than the more youthful EDT. This is also one that's very appealing, so a lot of people enjoy this one, and I think nobody's generally offended by this one. It does smell really great, and so I think this, for me, is probably the top choice. It is a little bit more expensive than the other options, and this is one of the things that is a bit of a drawback with it. But for that little more professional, masculine vibe that you can get with this one, I feel it tops the list. Anyways, guys, if you haven't checked out all those fragrances, go out there, get your nose on them, see what you think. And as always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.